Welcome to the NALEO's 25th Annual Conference and the NALEO Presidential Candidates Forum. I ask all of you to please rise with me and join me in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now it's time. Ya es hora. As NALEO gathers here in the nation's capital, our community's top leadership is ready to engage the country's next president in a dialogue about the critical issues facing America's Latinos. With more than 6,000 Latino elected and appointed officials, we represent all political parties and all levels of government. We serve diverse constituencies from New York to Los Angeles, from San Antonio to St. Paul. As we celebrate NALEO's 25th Annual Conference, we celebrate the growth of our leadership over the several decades, leadership that has shaped America's destiny. As the next president prepares to lead the country, he will need to work with the public servants gathered here today. We are ready to continue our tradition of leadership by joining him in this important task. Now please welcome the representative from ING, the Millennium sponsor of the NALEO 25th Annual Conference, Mr. Miles Matthew, Vice President of State and Government Affairs for ING.
Buenos dias. Once again, just let me say that ING is very proud to be a sponsor of NALEO's 25th Annual Conference and to participate in NALEO's Partnership Council. And let me also add my thanks to Arturo and Karen for putting on such a great conference, and of course, Adolfo Carrion and my friend and fellow Texan, Rafael Angia. As one of the leading providers of wealth management and retirement services in the United States, we work with cities, counties, and state governments, school districts, healthcare systems, and corporate partners to ensure a stable financial future for working people. As NALEO turns its eye towards the future today, ING is honored to present this forum for Senators John McCain and Barack Obama. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce my two good friends, the President of NALEO, Bronx Borough President Adolfo Carrion, and NALEO Educational Fund Chairman, Texas State Representative Rafael Angia.
When I say now it's time, you say, Ya es hora. Now it's time. Now it's time. I think we know what time it is. I am delighted to be here and delighted to welcome you to the 25th Annual Conference of NALEO here in the nation's capital. As leaders of our community, we are bringing America together. From the northernmost reaches of Maine to the border of Mexico and Tijuana with San Diego, California, from the northern mountains of Washington State to the Florida Keys, from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, you are bringing America together because we are representing the interests of every American family. Give yourselves a big round of applause. This is our time. And we are helping to strengthen America as leaders, elected officials at all levels of government. When we stand up in the city council chambers, in the state legislative halls, in the congressional chamber of both houses, when mayors of small and large cities and governors all over the United States stand up to defend the interests of American families and try to strengthen education and try to ensure the delivery of affordable housing and try to deal with the economic crisis that we're dealing with and heal the environment and all of the issues that we deal with day in and day out, we are strengthening America. You in each of your individual communities is strengthening America. And the Latino family and the Latino leadership and Latino elected officials, almost 6,000 across every state of the Union, is working to build a stronger America. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, we really determined the course of this last primary, both on the Republican and the Democratic side. We determined the pace. If you look back to Florida and the turn of events for the senator, the Republican senator that's coming before us today, it was Florida and it was Latinos that made that turn to allow him to get here today. And I think it's important that we understand the importance of our vote. In 2004, in the state of Colorado, President Bush won by a margin of 5%. But so did Ken Salazar by 5%, and it was the Latino vote that made it happen. And let me submit to you today that I believe that we will determine the outcome of the 2008 presidential election. This is the time. This is the time. I submit to you that the road to the White House is through the Latino community. Now it's time. Now it's time. And with that, I introduce a great leader from the state of Texas. He is the chair of the board of our educational fund, State of Texas representative and chairman of the Ed Fund, Rafael Anchia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Morning. Well, I'm going to say it again. Now it's time. Ya es hora. And it's time to give voice to the community's hopes, aspirations, and concerns. This year, NALEO embarked upon a listening tour in 8 cities across the nation, representing the full diversity of the Latino community. We heard from Latino voters who spoke passionately about the issues affecting their families and their communities every day. We heard from the single mother, faced with the desperate decision of either filling her car with gas or putting food on the table for her children. We heard from parents who shared the joy of their child's success, the first in their family to go to college. And then in the next sentence, we heard the regret of not being able to afford higher education. See, this forum brings forth real life stories. These are real people. And their voices will be heard today by the next President of the United States of America. Latinos want to address Latinos want the next president to address issues like the economy, the war in Iraq, health care, education, and immigration. Ladies and gentlemen, these are Latino issues, but they're also American issues. This historic election will determine the future direction of our nation. Latinos are the second largest and fastest growing electorate in this country. For a strong nation and a strong democracy, we must have a strong Latino community. This is why the next President of the United States will and must respond to our voces del pueblo. It is time. Ya es hora. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thank you. And now it is my extreme good fortune to welcome our moderator for today, the Executive Director of NALEO and the NALEO Educational Fund, Mr. Arturo Vargas. Thank you.